I went, to be honest, there's probably one place where the cameras couldn't find you. And he went, where's that? And I said, well, one doorway out of the girl's bedroom door was in the corner. Yeah, you're queuing up there to knock one out. He said that where the girl's bedroom door was, if you opened it all up like 90 degrees, it went against the wall, so you created this cavity just big enough to get in between it with no cameras seeing
The
you.
Bermuda Triangle for wanking, lad. Episode 110 of the What?
Straight into it there.
Happening.
Nice.
Podcast.
Nice.
Hope you've all had a marvellous week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wearing pink now because I'm gay.
Grid. Get it.
New sponsor, by the way. Should we start again? I feel like we should put a bit more energy into
No.
new sponsor.
I don't. Grid. Wow.
Jack,
we got a new sponsor.
zoom in on this logo. Grid. No, we have actually got a new sponsor though.
Feel sorry for you.
What's the name of it?
It's Grid.
Grid. Yes.
It's a sport and active wear company. They are based in Ireland, but you'll be glad to know they ship all over the world.
All over the
so
world.
No matter where you're watching from, if you use code Happenin20,
What's it again?
it's Happenin20.
One more time.
All capitals, no spaces. Happenin20, and that is a
Nice.
capital 2 and 0.
Nice.
We'll leave a link to Grid's Instagram and all their socials down below in the description. So if you want to go and check them out, they are now the new official partner of the What's Happening podcast. We've got all sorts of content planned and coming up with them. So keep your eyes peeled. But more importantly, in the studio this week, we have got Craig Phillips. Craig.
Hello, boys.
How are you doing?
It's good to be here. I was just wondering, do you guys have a sponsor by any chance?
It's funny because we do. Grid. Happening 20.
I'm so glad you asked, Craig, because I don't think we've mentioned it.
She's trying to work peacefully next door, lad.
There's a new Peruvian coffee place open next door. We went in before, like, oh, we do the podcast next door.
Do you actually know what it is? So
Coffee?
No. So from the bookshelf back, it's their office. It's a design studio, and they've just rented that corner out to the Peruvian fella. So he only serves coffee till 3 o'clock. It's their office and their design studio.
That's cool.
And he just rents
okay.
the corner off them.
Cool. That's cool.
Bet you the
Easy,
charge,
The guy just run into your car.
No. That was a little fucking gypsy pikey bastard over the road, lad. Little student. Just, he had a nightmare, right? So I got my new car yesterday, parked it outside the studio. Today, some fella was in the corner. We heard all this loud noise and all commotion. He's dropped about
proper
12
Tom and Jerry noises coming from the
pots and
corner.
pans all over the floor. Then Danny was like, oh, do you need that hand picking it up? And he's like, oh, no, it's all right. Forgot his car keys. Had to go back to his flat to get his car keys. Come down all flustered, and then I goes outside, and Bobby and this Irish kid just stood in front of my car, and he's like, I've just reversed into your car, lad.
It's a good job, it's a company
You know,
car.
yesterday.
Yeah, only picked it up yesterday.
That is
What rats? So Craig, for people who wouldn't know who you are,
Yep.
was you the first ever winner of Big Brother?
Yes, back in 2000.
Is that when the
24
first?
years
Is
ago.
that when the first?
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lifetime, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
How old are you?
I'm
you born then?
How old do you think I am?
I'm gonna say 23.
No, 26.
22.
How
26.
old
26.
do you think I am, Craig?
You're younger, I reckon.
You're right.
22.
He's 11.
I'm 26, but I'll tell you.
But he's
How
a
old are
guy.
you? You're the daddy, though, aren't you?
It's all right, Craig, don't worry about it. It's all right, Craig.
How old do you think I am?
I'm gonna say 32.
All right, I'll take that.
He was
33.
33. I was being
yeah.
polite.
Nice one.
You know, he's not a couple of years off,
He just
don't
had
you?
stone under his breath.
So do you know when you went on Big Brother?
Yeah.
It was the very first one ever. Like, I understand the appeal to go on it now, because if you've seen it on the telly and you go,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Now,
Have to go with
would you
that,
go on
but
it now, though?
not necessarily. No, I mean, I wouldn't.
No,
But people have got
it's gone before.
People have got an
Yeah.
expectation.
Because you know what it is now. You probably, like, people apply for it, sort
Yeah.
of knowing what, like, what was it? Considering it was a completely new thing, because it
It was
originally
alien.
started
Well,
as
no,
a
it
social
wasn't the
experiment,
first
didn't it?
one. Holland was the first ever Big Brother, wasn't
Holland
it?
and Endemol, they've
Yeah.
done a Big Brother kind of an experiment one over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
That's when
okay.
I first seen it. I was around Europe, and I seen something advertising about it, and it said if it's successful, they might bring it out in England.
Right.
So I wrote off to the production company before they'd even advertised it in the UK.
Oh,
Literally
really?
a handwritten letter.
A handwritten letter and said,
Fuck off.
if you're considering, people in the UK, blah, blah, blah. Wrote a little bit about myself, what I did, my building background. sent it off, and it was about 9 months later. I was up on a roof doing lead flashing around a chimney breast.
Nice.
And I got a phone. In them days, phones were like this big.
Yeah.
You guys
Phone
won't remember
jacket.
them. Yeah. And they were like, you wrote to us Endemol Productions, and I was just like, did I? I can't remember. And they were like,
job was it
Big
for?
Brother, and I was like, nobody knew what Big Brother was.
Yeah.
So and then
Ha
they were like,
kid?
I remember it now. Yeah. Yeah. And that was it. Yeah, that's when I first thought about it.
But even still, though, what made you want to even like do a handwritten
I know,
letter? Like,
what
did
was
you
it
watch
about
it
that
while you
Yeah,
were
one, I
over
couldn't use a computer.
there?
No, it advertised that the prize money would be 70 grand.
That'll
And
do
I-
it. That'll
at
do
the
it.
time-
That'll sell it,
that'll do
yeah.
I mean,
That's the selling
would do anything
point.
for 70 grand, wouldn't you, nowadays? No, but at
Yeah.
the time I was collecting for a young girl who needs the heart and lung transplant.
Right,
And,
okay.
she was Down syndrome, so they wouldn't operate her on her in England. So we had to take her to America. So it cost 250
They wouldn't
grand.
operate it on it in.
They wouldn't. No, it was quite discriminating.
It was
Times would change when you would have paid.
Because she had Down syndrome. Is that
Because
what
she was
that
Downs, they wouldn't operate on a heart and lung transplant. Because
Fuck
it was
off.
too risky and this, that and the other. So they, at the time, the government at the time thought they would only operate on people who were a little bit more healthier type of thing.
Yeah,
Who could have a longer life expectancy.
Is that changed now? Or?
It's changed. I got a Great Scots Honorary Award for it because I changed the law in Parliament.
Did you?
Yeah, the Down Syndrome Society fought for about 14 years and got nowhere. And I had it
That
turned
was that
around.
though. That
It
one
is
kid who's been on
nice.
Big Brother changes it. You know what I mean?
I know,
They've been
I know,
fighting
I know.
for 14 years.
I had dinner with Tony Blair and Cherie Booth at the time. Tony Blair was the Prime Minister at the time. And I remember having dinner with them. They opened a construction academy for me. And I said to them, why did the government back down to me when I put an appeal in to thing you? And she said to me in her words where you don't realise how powerful you were when you won Big Brother.
Fuck off.
She said,
Well,
on the
yeah,
last
yeah, yeah.
night I got 3.7 million phone calls. It was 25 pence per phone call. And her words were...
And you only got 70 grand every day.
Yeah, and I gave it away. I gave it away. But her words were, she said, you had more votes than the last general election.
Fuck off.
Seriously,
mad.
That's crazy,
More
isn't it?
votes in the last general election, and you had to pay 25p to vote for me, where to vote for Tony at the time was free.
So, question then, right? So obviously, in hindsight now, you didn't realise how powerful you were.
No. I've no
If
clue.
then you knew how powerful you was,
Oh,
how many other
abused it
things
all.
you would have changed?
I
How many
think
laws
that
you
has been enough
tried
to
to
turn me into
they
a
just took
villain, you know.
advantage of it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, Christ, a list of things you would have liked to change, but at that time, when I first come out, it was a whirlwind.
Yeah,
Because I went
I
in
know,
as
yeah.
just a nobody, basically. I was just a builder, you know what I mean? And I was the last person to know that I'd become a kind of a household name the next day.
Yeah.
I sat down with a psychiatrist that night. And
But he's still
not
doing
that
all
I
that
needed
back
a psychiatrist. They supplied a psychiatrist
Yeah.
just to see if I was okay. And I remember in the interview stages of Big Brother, because I got selected down from about 45,000 people. When it got down to the last 50 people, it was police checks, medical checks, psychiatric screen, and all these, things to go through it. And I remember this guy called Brett Carr, this psychoanalyzer. And when I got took out of the Big Brother house and I was the winner, it was mayhem. And I was rushed away, bodyguards, police escort, took to this big suite, this big hotel. And I was thinking, fucking hell, this is quite terrifying. It felt like being kidnapped. 20 or 30 people around you, rushing like mad, and panic, blue lights and things like that. I was a bit like, wow, I haven't even got a chance to speak to my family here. What's going on? And everyone was keen, panicky and concerned. Gets me to this hotel, in the back door as well, up the fire stairs. It's a little bit, fucking hell, this is
There's a brass
concerning.
gaff. Out of the backstairs.
And this psychiatrist says to me, he says, Craig, tomorrow you will be on the front page of every national newspaper, every regional newspaper, every radio station and TV news bulletin will be talking about you. And his words were, you'll be the most talked about person in Britain.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
nuts.
fuck, it gives me goose pimples even now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Thinking about that, because
Yeah,
my
as well.
mind then trying to process that.
Yeah.
How does any normal
how
human
do you
process
take
that?
How old
that,
were you at the time?
28.
So like around our age.
Yeah.
Imagine waking up tomorrow and just from today
And the
to
whole
tomorrow
country
morning,
knowing your name.
Yeah,
you're the most like relevant and most spoken about person in the country
And
that
it's
day.
hard.
thought-
I had to have bodyguards. And not
you?
that I was in any danger.
Yeah, but
And
it's 'cause
at the
everyone-
time, I did 10 years of full contact Thai boxing, so I look after myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't concerned about that. But it was just so overpowering.
Yeah,
I
I can
couldn't
imagine.
I
go
can imagine,
anywhere.
you know.
You go into a pub, a bar, anywhere, an airport, and hundreds of people just come running around you.
Yeah.
And every one of them was just, Craig, can I have a picture, can I have this, or can I have a chat? Wanting you to sign things, it just got too overpowering.
Yeah.
So you needed the security to just kind of say, guys, he's got to be somewhere, he's getting flight, blah, blah, make a bit of a pathway and get you out.
That's scatty.
Oh,
Quite
okay.
good.
It is scatty.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't
So
think a
careful
lot
how
of people...
successful your podcast goes.
I know, yeah, nice one, Craig.
I don't think a lot of people, normal people in society, actually realise what it's like to sort of be at that level of fame and that, because people always moan like, oh, fucking, I only want to get a picture with you, but imagine every day you're just getting bombarded.
And do you know what? Well, you know what's mad as well? I was talking about you yesterday, actually, Craig, because people were saying, "Oh, have you got a guest on?" And I was like, "Do you know what? Oh, so you're still in people's mouths." So I was saying, like, it's mad how things have gone over time, especially because I feel like, especially back in the day when Big Brother was like at its peak, sort of like prime or whatever.
You were in nappies, how would you know?
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, even after it, even after that, like, point though, to win like a Big Brother, or to win like a I'm a Celebrity, or to win like a whatever
it was an
reality,
accolade, quite an achievement.
it was
Yeah.
massive
Yeah.
compared to what it is now. I feel
Yeah,
like now
it's
it's like, oh,
diluted
they've
now,
won
isn't
and it's
it?
away. But back in the day, if you won something like that, it was next level.
I'd say that first 5 to 10 years, because Big Brother was the kind of pioneering of reality
Yeah,
TV.
Yeah.
And then following on from that, the year after when Big Brother 2 come out, you had the Pop Idol and X Factor, and then I'm a Celebrity come, I think, 2 years after that. But everything was combined together where it gave the audience, and Big Brother was the kind of the first show that gave the audience the
catalyst.
control
Yeah.
of who stays in and who goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it become a multi-billion-pound industry
Yeah.
where it tied in the internet with TV, with live TV and text messages, phone calls and everything. Nothing else had done that way, but
Yeah.
with it being so successful, all the other channels, production channels, got onto it obviously and
Yeah.
brought of
So
reality
everyone had their
TV.
own version.
But I
or
think
something.
it's got that first 10 years, it's had its peak in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And as you say, it's diluted now.
It has,
now, and
yeah,
it's faded
massively,
out.
yeah.
I think the reason for that as well, I think a little bit is because like, I think people's intentions with it are a lot less genuine now. Like when you went on it back in the day, you probably never intended to be a celebrity in any facet
No,
at all. But
no.
people now,
Just want to
people
I
go
can
on Big
honestly-
Brother or Love Island with the
For that
intention of
attention,
coming
yeah,
out
being
and
famous,
being an
They have
influencer.
agents before they go in
It's
there.
weird.
They're already planning
It's
commercial
weird.
deals.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
true.
say hand on heart, I had no intentions whatsoever of trying to become famous in any way.
don't believe you.
I was happy. Oh well, come on, I've got away with it for 24 years.
He's been media trained now.
Chris Hansen's on his way.
I got nasty nippers back, you know.
What was the big love with the Down syndrome community then? Is it like family orientated, or was it just someone
Yeah,
that you...
it wasn't even a relative of mine, you know. It was just one of my best pals who I went to school with in Liverpool, up in Seaforth area. We grew up together as little kids, went through infants, unis and seniors, and then he moved away to Shropshire, and it was his auntie that had Joanne, the Down syndrome girl. And when we grew up, we just kind of, she was always around, like playing with us, or we babysat her sometimes. She'd go on holiday in a caravan to Wales and things like that. So I always knew her as growing up, but I was only a kid myself, so I didn't realise she had something wrong with her.
Yeah.
A condition that needs an operation. Didn't quite
Well,
get it
she's
when I was
cuddly.
a kid.
Should have seen a bit more
she's
cuddly.
She's
happy,
so
yeah.
that was kind of it, really. And then when we started trying to collect money for her, the operation was £250,000. And I think for the first year, we collected about 20 grand from shaving our head, doing all the things you do, you know, in pubs and things. And the price of the operation was going up.
As usual,
More than what we were saving.
yeah.
So I was thinking, this is getting nowhere.
Yeah,
So
time
I'm doing
to
something
reach this.
dramatic. Like,
Yeah.
And I just happened to see that programme in Endemol in Holland.
Right
Yeah.
place, right time. That
Yeah,
innit?
definitely.
Definitely.
Right place,
And I
right
take
time,
it she
like
got
that.
she got a happy ending, like.
Well, sadly, no, she didn't actually get the operation. The situation was the surgeons wouldn't operate until she declined past a certain level.
Yeah.
So they were regularly monitoring. As the years go by, when she did drop down to a level where she needed it, she wasn't fit and able enough to fly to America.
Fucking hell, it's always one thing,
It was
yeah.
real awkward, and she really declined within about 6 days and sadly passed away.
Yeah,
then, you know.
fucking
Yeah.
sorry.
So what we did was we set up a trust fund for the money with Piers Morgan. You know Piers Morgan?
Yeah.
So at the time I was doing a little bit. He was the main editor of the Mirror newspaper. It was him and an agent that I had at the time. So anyway, we set this trust fund up where if we never had to use the money for John's operation, we would put it into other children's causes, good causes. So we just give it away in £5,000 there, 10 grand there, in variety of children's hospitals. You know, and our local hospital here in Liverpool, we bought a couple of we bought these like tiny little cameras to go up the kids' noses, you know, down to have a look inside.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
and they cost tens of thousands of pounds.
Yeah, I can
so we
imagine.
thought, well, we buy equipment as opposed to just throwing the lump of money in there.
It's all I think. Yeah.
big
No, that makes
pot
sense.
of money.
But you
that
get more
gets
use
swallowed
out
up.
of it that
Yeah,
way anyway.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I've obviously never seen the Big Brother when you was in it years
Yeah.
ago. So was that still down in London in a big studio
Yeah,
down
it
there and
was
stuff?
in a studio. Oh God, both studios. It was in East London.
Right.
Yeah, it's not there now. It was just the back of this Tesco's, I think it was. This little island. You'd have to go across it on a bridge, and it's just a temporary built house that just crumbled to bits and stunk at the end of it. Yeah.
Was it a big house? Was it?
It felt big when we first got in there.
But as the days went by,
But as when
you all
you're
would
in there
stay
for
crazy.
64 days and you're in the same room, 64 days.
How many other people were in there with you as well?
9 other people with me.
Yeah, fuck
But
that.
10 people that you wouldn't choose.
yeah, to live with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 dickheads, like.
You know what that psychiatrist said to me? He said, Craig, he said, I'll tell you something. He said, you could be in that house with your best friends or family.
And you'd still lose
when
the
you're
plot.
when you're in there
yeah.
for 64 days, you've got, I think we had 27 visible cameras around us. There was 12 cameras behind all the glass screens, like
Yeah.
one-way mirror things. So the pressure's on.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
even go and have a shit without a camera above you, watching you and listening
Yeah,
to you.
that's
you know,
mad.
which
One
is
in the
kinda
toilet as
weird,
well,
like,
looking up.
Yeah. And I remember
Where
he
was
was
you having a talk?
explaining it all to me, you know, and I was like, why do you need a camera above the toilet
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
And they went, look, we can assure you, we're not going to put out footage of you having a crap. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not in anyone's best interest.
That's fair.
But they said, if you grab a bird and go in there and start having a little kiss and a play,
Yeah.
they're going to want to capture that, and that's going to go out on TV. sort
That
of thing.
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, or someone might just go in there and have a little meltdown, a little cry.
Yeah.
And because you've got psychiatrists watching you 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
for your own health and safety,
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
got to watch you.
Did you not find no dead spots?
Do you know what? I was asked once. One person's asked me a dead spot
He's a fucking
because
builder. He's definitely fucking find a little
Yeah,
ticket
yeah, yeah.
tap and everything.
I was live on Chris Evans's Virgin Radio, and good guy. He actually gave me 50 grand for I think it was.
I've always liked Chris Evans.
He's a good fella. But you know what he asked me? I'm on the live show. We're chatting, and I hadn't been out long, a couple of weeks or something like that. And then when it went off air, they played a song. The red lights went off, and he went, Craig, was there anywhere in there at all you could have a wank? And I went, to be honest, there's probably one place where the cameras couldn't find you. And he went, where's that? And I said, well, one doorway out of the girl's bedroom door was in the corner. Yeah, you're queuing up there to knock one out. He said that where the girl's bedroom door was, if you opened it all up like 90 degrees, it went against the wall, so you created this cavity just big enough to get in between it with no cameras seeing
The
you.
Bermuda Triangle for wanking, lad.
So
That's
then
so
the
funny.
song ended, the red light come on, and Chris said, so Craig, you were just saying if you could, entertain yourself there. Where was it?
So,
He was a good lad, yeah.
when you did you watch the most recent series, Big Brother, the one that was out last? Was it
I
last year?
did
or was it
just
this year?
last year, yeah. Do you know what? Still, I haven't watched my series. When I come out the house, they give me a box. I think there's 120 VHS tapes.
Shit.
I have to explain to
You're
these
old,
lads
you lad.
what a VHS tape is.
Hey, you think they probably weighed a few quid now, don't you? Know?
But
Cash in the attic.
I've still never had time to actually watch them. But when the second one came, basically, I was probably the highest paid person in Britain to watch the second Big Brother.
What,
'Cause
like
they
a
had,
goggle
one
box?
newspaper paid me 10 grand, another newspaper paid me
it's
5
one
grand,
line,
another
isn't it?
magazine paid me 5 grand, and it just, everyone wanted to have my running commentary
Yeah.
each night, you know.
So
when
what
the-
was you doing, like goggle boxing it, or was it having to do like
in them
reports?
days, no, in them days, because we had no social media.
Yeah.
Can you remember life
Yeah,
with no
yeah,
social
yeah.
media?
No, I
you know?
actually can't, no.
The internet wasn't even working very well, you know. You had
Dial-up.
certain times of the day. But yeah, so they would just call me the next day, and I'd just do basically an interview that went in a newspaper or a magazine. The following day, it's chip paper.
Okay, well, let me ask you a
Yeah.
question then. Did you ever not watch it and just blag? You didn't answer on the phone to them?
I can't believe you said that.
What I
mate.
did was, what I did was, because I was working most of the time, I'd work filming in the day on like a makeover show. I'd be driving to my next hotel the night, so I'd miss it. In them days, you didn't have playback and
Yeah,
shit.
you couldn't have
So what I'd end
paused
up
it.
having to do, my PA would phone the hotel I'm staying in, get them to put a video recorder in my bedroom and record it, sort of thing. Or if I didn't, my PA would watch it. The next day, they'd just give me 10 little bullet points. So basically, I'd just blag it then the next day.
Easiest 10 grand you've ever
I'm thinking I'm
made.
getting all this money in. I'm basically, my PA sitting up all night watching it.
Getting paid minimum wage.
That's so funny, then.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
So, but what, you've never watched it back ever? No?
I've never watched it, no, so I did watch the next kind of like 10 years off it, so I've never seen my one. I've seen loads of the kind of iconic moments when I was arguing with Nasty Nick and coming out and this, that and the other, so there's about 6 or 7 kind of memorable parts in there. 'Cause
Yeah.
I won the best live TV moment of the year when it came out, and little Joanne was there, and that's when I said, I'm taking you to America, giving you the money, and that's when the public just started to bombard, throw money at Lee Evans, 50 grand at Beckham's for dinner with them. They I think they give us 10 grand.
You went for dinner with the Beckhams?
Yes, yeah, I've got, Victoria actually said to me, you know what she said?
My
Got a
fella's,
big addiction, David.
my fella's boss of free kicks.
Well,
My fella wanking that triangle.
she said, if I wasn't married to David, I would have come down on the last night of Big Brother and proposed to you.
Little slag. She's animal. See, I don't agree with that. I don't know if she's saying if I wasn't married, but you're having the thoughts, girl.
Vicky Beckham.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
David Beckham.
Imagine
no,
you
he's
just
we
went
danced a while.
imagine you just went out of fancy the ginger one, you little dickhead.
David,
But David's sitting
Victoria.
there having a steak. He's just like quiet.
Victoria, if you are watching, which you'd be a fool not to be, he still loves you.
Do you know what? In fairness to Victoria, I've only seen it 2 or 3 times after that, and we never did.
That was up the back door.
But
Dying to, though.
I wrote a biography in 2007 or 8, I think it was. Anyway, the publisher was selecting through loads of pictures. And there was some nice pictures of me with hair and things. And they were like, can we use this one? And we had to get authorization from the fellow who took the picture. Anyway, they said, then anything is about it. So I mentioned it, and they were like, you can't say that in your biography. I was like...
About her saying that?
Yeah, I was
Really?
like, you asked me about the night I was with her.
And there it is.
And I just told you, I'm not telling you lies. I'm telling you what happened. There was lots of people around. Her mum was there. His sister was there. Everybody, and they were just like, you can't, we'll get sued, this, that, and the other. And I was like,
Slander.
well, you've asked me to tell me the truth, and I've wrote an entire book.
That's
so
mad. And I don't think she would
but
have
listen,
been
in her
It's not like you said in your book on a finger.
He's crossing the notes out where
In
she
her
sucked his dick.
defence,
Well, we can't leave it. We've just lost 12 pages of shit there.
in her defence, they wrote to her, right? And she signed it off for me to say what I've just told you now. She allowed it to be said.
That's
Oh, so
In
it-
there,
so it went in the book.
So
Oh,
we
okay,
used
okay.
it actually in the book, like, yeah.
That's
She
sick.
Listen, I
signed
can,
it off,
I can understand their point of view, because imagine you were just fucking being a bit excitable and said it, and then she was like,
No one ever.
didn't say
Yeah,
that.
that's gonna
And then
upset
they're,
David.
they're so
Yeah.
powerful and just fucking shoot you down with all
Yeah,
their
of
and all
course
that.
they could, yeah,
But
could shoot
fair
you
play
down,
to,
yeah.
because she said it in jest, light-hearted, you know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
she's not asked for it to go out
All
there.
right, don't
but-
knock him down, Gary. She was being serious. Lad.
I think she meant it.
Yeah, so do I. So
Is
do I.
there, so, like,
I mean, who can blame her?
is there anyone who you were in the Big Brother house with that you still speak to today?
Oh, good question.
The last one I spoke to, believe it or not, was Nasty Nick, who we fell out. Yeah.
Have you ever hit him?
No, I've come close to it.
What was the argument about?
So, it's the most pettiest thing, but obviously nominations is a big thing in there. You know, It's, they're all, the pressure builds up on everybody in there. You're not allowed to discuss them. And he somehow got a pen in. I don't know how, but he got a fucking pen in somehow, yeah. And basically was writing down people's names. And throughout, he knew where all the cameras were. And, he was a fucking well-educated private school boy and things like that. And he thought he could outsmart us all, basically. He earned the most money and he told us about it and all that shit. And basically he was walking around just showing his hand like that, like David Blaine with a little fucking eyelash. He was like just saying, like Craig, but he was writing my name and other people's names down in a kind of a plot to try and get everyone to nominate against each other.
Oh,
and it was actually working.
He's actually dancing for them.
He never got
Yes, he was the
nominated.
puppet master.
He never got nominated once out of anybody in
So
there.
I don't get it. So he was writing. So he'd write Craig and then show
And
you,
then
and
he'd
then
go
you
over
go.
to Melanie. No, not me, because I'd KO him if he did. But he'd show it to somebody else, and he'd be like, nominations tomorrow, sort of thing. And he'd show 2 names, and you can subliminally plant a seed in somebody's mind. Whether I think they were a bit more intelligent in there, not to be swayed.
Because people
by him.
then go, shit, I don't want to go out. So if more people are voting this person, they'll have a
Then
chance
yeah,
to go
I'll
out.
go for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Anyway.
one of them brought it to me, and I was like kind of fuming once the kick his head in. So we decided, like, let's have an...
So open the door when he was wanking to show the
have a little
camera.
sleep on it. We were all kind of wound up in the night, so we were like, okay, well, let's have a little sleep on it and we'll talk about it in the morning. And it was the first time in the UK, or in the world, I think, that live internet actually crashed. Because everyone was on dial-up then. And everyone was trying to dial up to watch it live. Yeah. And Interpol or Intel, whatever it was at the time. Because I remember when it came out the following day, I went to a press conference and the press officers Channel 4 were reading out all these stats and all these things. And I was just thinking, fuck, this is bonkers. Big the shows. And I hadn't slept that night. I got took to the hotel, I said before. Yeah. And my cousin, I was telling you about, has got the studio down the road there. He got brought to see me. One of the security brought him to see me. And when everyone left the room, me and him were standing on this big bed in this suite, cost about $2,000 a night, bouncing up and down like this, just having a kind of a ball. But we didn't go to sleep that night because everything was on tap. Just the champagne coming in, the beers, the steaks and things like that. And then the next morning, I had to go to this press conference, still pissed. And I remember sitting there, and I've never seen anything like it. There was layers of chairs with just hundreds of photographers there. And every time I just went like that or done that, every flash would go...
Imagine you had that left
terrifying.
Line just died on the
He's been up all night. He's every 3 seconds.
Can they tell?
So what? So you had made with him then because did he put your name on there?
I confronted him out basically. So that moment of me arguing with him, that won the best pre-recorded television moment of the year.
Oh, really?
The National Television Awards, yeah. So
we got 2 awards for them, like trophies and that?
I personally didn't get them, no. The execs in Big Brother got them.
Yeah.
I went there to the event and went up on stage, thanked everyone for it.
And then he took it out
straight away.
I wanted that to bash me fucking bugle, like.
You've been up all night.
I'm taking it in the corner behind the table, behind the door.
That's fucking... So, like, do you obviously... Because you were, like, basically, like, one of the first people ever on reality television. Yeah. Do you think, obviously, if you look at, like we were saying before now, like, people are going on with, like, pre-agreed deals with brands and with, like, agents and shit. Like, do you think... Cause I used to love watching Love Island when it was, like, first few seasons.
When it
and then now it's a bit like... do you sort of watch
reality
TV?
It's so predictable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of missed Love Island for probably about first 6 or 7 years. I just generally couldn't be arsed. I've seen little bits and pieces on, and I'm not a big one on social media. I was very late to the table starting it, like, and I was just starting to look a little bit on social, think, another one's popped up. Oh, she's fit, you know. Maybe I should watch it one day, you know. So me and my wife watched it. Right?
That's why I never watched this bear, like, you know, I don't know.
So we watched it, and it was the one with Tommy Fury and Molly May in it, which I know have done really great out of it. And we kind of thought, you know what?
She's not a very good dog owner, though.
It's not a good what?
Dog owner.
Dog owner, isn't she?
No, she imported a dog a couple of years ago. Had it for like 6 days. Dog died. Terrible.
Oh, no, it's not good, is it?
Heavy that.
Never mind. Yeah, but heavy that, yeah.
What a fuck.
I was just letting you know.
Kill dogs.
Anyway, we watched that a couple of times. And then when it got to the second or third, it just become predictable for me. So I didn't bother watching it again.
Yeah. What I don't like now as well is because it's called reality telly, but it couldn't be any further from it. Like if you look at Love Island and stuff like that now, the producers are... I thought he just leaned in.
Just vertical.
Like the producers are sort of saying like, well, why don't you maybe come up with this bit?
Too much, isn't it now?
Was there none of that when you
No,
not unscripted at all?
Absolutely not unscripted, not unprompted whatsoever. We were completely left to our own devices. But what they did is they had a great way of controlling you without controlling you. Yeah. So they would take away they would take away your money, your food and things like that, and you make you do your tasks that you win like £1.50 per person to go towards your shopping budget. Yeah. So they can deprive you from your food.
Yeah.
And then
you start losing it then a little bit.
Yeah, you start losing, you start bickering with one another because you're arguing about, you've got a small budget, someone wants to buy fags, I don't smoke, so I've got a problem with that, you know. Just them type of arguments. So they could really make a shitty situation happen there. And also what they would do as well is they would say, okay, tonight's topic, we're going to sit down like this and we're going to talk about ex-girlfriends or ex-boyfriends, something like that. You start talking about it, and then the others would start butting in. you know, and then all of a sudden the debate turns into an argument type of
Yeah.
thing. And I think nowadays, certainly when we watched a bit of the Love Island stuff, and even have you seen this Married at First Sight, Australia?
Yeah.
That's so manufactured.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, it's dangerous as well, because I think it's a combination of Big Brother on steroids, Love Island on fucking steroids, and all these reality kind of shows mixed in together.
Yeah.
It's just too desperate now, isn't it? It's mad.
Yeah.
Well, how fast and how close with security? Because that's a massive risk from the producers, right? To not even try and script it, just put 10 people into a house and fucking play games, use depriving your food and all that. Because you could have just turned around and just fucking shivved Nick in the neck in seconds.
Yes,
You know what I mean? You
yeah,
could have just stabbed them up. So, how fast were they there on the scene?
We had fire doors all around us. One time we had a little kitchen fire, just someone cooking something, it went on fire. And within, and they got cameras everywhere, permanently watching. In the gallery as well, there's, 40 odd cameras on one wall, and variety of staff there 24 hours a day. So, them the kind of security fire guys were in within about 30 seconds of that flame coming up with fire extinguisher things. When I was arguing with Nasty Nick, a guy called Neil Higgins, who owned Fortified Security, the security company who looked after the house and Davina and all the guests who come out of it, I remember chatting with him because he was with me for about 4 months after Big Brother. I remember chatting with him, and he said when that night, when it was kicking off with you and Nick, and then the next day, he said basically him and about 4 of his lads spent the night at the side of the fire doors. 2 security there, 2 there, 2 there. Basically just thinking if it goes off and it's live, I'm thinking we've got to get in and stop before anyone gets hit or stabbed or anything like that.
That would have made for better selling.
It would have knocked them out.
Imagine you just went up dead quiet when he's asleep, right? And just put your Joey on his foot.
Well, one of the producers at one of them awards, a guy called Ruth Wrigley, and she was one of the exec producers. She said to me, we were having dinner afterwards, and she said, Craig, we started this program off with about 35 staff, and at the end of it, there was over 200 staff because it just got so big.
Yeah.
No idea how big it was. And he said, we knew we had you for 64 days, or some of you who stayed in for 64 days. She said, by the 3rd day, you're shaving your hair off. I'd stripped off and done body painting on me. Painted this clay on me cock, started doing cock prints on the walls. I don't even know if it got shown on TV.
Imagine if it didn't, though, and the next day everyone's going, what the fuck's that on the wall?
and I grabbed Nicola, who's now a porn star, but she was quite fit at the time. She was in like a great shape. Nicola Holt. Allegedly, I haven't seen him. Some of my friends have sent videos of it, but at the time when she wasn't in that industry, she was fit. She had a great body on it. She shaved her head. Lovely, pretty looking girl. So I kind of grabbed her, run her into the bathrooms, into the showers, just to wash all the clay and things like that off, because she was naked as well. She was quick to strip off, sort of thing. But but that Ruth Wrigley, the exec, was just like.
Fix that door. I can hear that door.
So when
but that Ruth Wrigley was terrified. They were like, "Oh my god, 3 days in, you've stripped off, shaved your head,
shat there in the bathroom,
and now you're trying to nail her in the bathroom. Where are you going to be on fucking day 60? You know what I mean?
Day 60,
mass orgies are going to just break out, by day 10.
Did you ever meet the voiceover
day 7 in the Big Brother house? Marcus Bentley. Craig's hanging out the back of 2 of them.
Did you ever meet the fella on the voiceover?
Yeah, Marcus Bentley, yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, and he's a friend of mine now, and he's done some great voiceovers for me. He done one for our wedding, it was really good, and I've done celebrity boxing, and he done me voiceover for that when I was coming into the ring. But I first met him because you don't get to meet him in the first 10 years of Big Brother. When it ended on Channel 4, about 2010 or something like that, we shot a TV advert, believe it or not, the end of Big Brother. We were burying Big Brother type of thing. And it had after 10 years, you've got, I'm going to guess, 150 odd Big Brother housemates. So we went to this like aeroplane hangar place where we shot the videos of it, where we shot the commercial for it. And that was the first time we met Marcus Bentley, because he was like the priest blessing Big Brother going down a hole. And us all saying goodbye and pretending we're tearful and stuff. It was funny, it was quite good.
Has there ever been any talks of like, sometimes on like reality telly when they get like a group of the people who have won it in the past?
Yeah, well, the year
Yeah.
after that, they'd done an Ultimate Big Brother in 2011. And you know what? They rung me and they said, okay, you know, you're the first winner and blah, blah, blah. Do you want to be in it? And I was like, yeah, can do. Like, and he offered a good few quid, to be honest. And I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of do that. And I put the phone down. And I was walking my dog, and I just thought about it for about half an hour. And I thought about a time when I went to the Big Brother house. Remember Jay Goody?
Yeah.
She's died now, isn't she, Goody? Do you remember the incident with Shilpa Shetty? Yeah. It kind of got blown out of proportion, in my opinion, but it was deemed very racist, what she was saying, etc. And it kind of finished their career to a degree, you know what I mean? And she was flying as well. She was doing so well. Jade was before she got sick, sort of thing. And I remember going to the house that night, and there was a show called Big Brother's Bit on the Side, or Big Brother's Big Mouth, or something. Big Brother's Bit, Little Brother, that's it, yeah. So I was a guest on there, and when I got took down to the studio, I would sometimes take one of my mates or something, and there's very few people get to sneak around the camera room.
Yeah.
You know, the camera
Oh,
room,
where they've got,
all the cameramans.
yeah.
But because they know me well, they let me have a little nose, you know, you get all your phones and things taken off you. So I took one of my mates there this one time, before I got interviewed, and we were having a little scoot around, and it was the night that all that kicked off in Big Brother. It was
What
the
did
night.
she actually say?
I can't remember. I think she referred to it as a poppadom or something like that.
That is racist, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. So, something.
Was the woman Indian?
Yes,
That is racist.
yeah. She was an
Only
Indian.
thing she gets a pass on
She
that.
was an Asian Indian movie star, you know, really big in her
shit.
country. Yeah, really big in Bollywood movies and things. And because it was the celebrity Big Brother that Jade went back into,
Yeah.
you know, where that kind of arose. I remember being there at the time, and it was kicking off, and it was people were arguing about this, that, and the other, and this atmosphere in the Big Brother house. I mean, backstage, the production company was kind of a bit fear factor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously days and days after that, when it just erupted in the newspapers, you know, they were burning models of it in India and things like that. Got really, really bad.
I didn't
Excuse me.
notice that.
It was real bad for her, and all of his sponsors, everything like that, all pulled out. And anyway, put down the phone and thought to myself, do you know what? Do I really need to go back in Big Brother again? I've done it. I've won the first one. You can't top that.
Yeah.
Since then, you've got 9 other shows, so you've got 9 other winners. I haven't quite got the
When
impact.
did they start the celebrity one as well? Is that already...
Straight, I think they done Big Brother 1, then Big Brother 2, and then they done the celebrity one after
So
that.
you've already got them in the mix as well.
Yeah, you've got all them in the mix, so you've got hundreds and hundreds of
And then
technically
you're
Big
like,
Brother
I'm a fucking
losers.
celebrity, why am I going to the normal one? Should I be the kids?
But I was doing loads of makeover shows. We had sponsors, we had this, that, and the other. I was thinking, I don't need it. Can't be arsed with it.
Yeah.
And if I go in there and they get caught up in a row, and it's
it up,
edited quite badly.
Yeah, if you start calling someone an arm bread in the Big Brother house, the property development's down the sink.
Yeah, you're shot down, aren't you?
Yeah,
You cancel straight away.
Straight away.
Yeah.
I just thought I won't do. So I rung them back up and went, thanks, but no thanks. And they were like, oh, you've got to be a part of it, you know. They were like, you're the first winner and things. And they were like, is it about the money? We can give you some more money. And I was like, no, it's not even anything about
My
that.
models in the
It's
went
about,
then.
I don't want to do it again.
I'd be how much actually?
So how much are you talking?
How much?
No, do you know what?
I'll call anyone, anything for that amount of money.
Put me in here with Jay Goody. What's what I call it?
I wear me swimming cap as well.
So obviously you win Big Brother, it peaks.
Yeah.
You're up there.
Yeah.
How long until not you come down, but sort of where it's like not everything goes back to normal, but it's all sort of like
it was always that was the most famous or my highest peak of profile I could ever be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, it was only ever going to come down. And because I kind of never wanted it, it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
I've
No,
had
that-
many conversations with very
fair.
successful people like your Robbie Williams, you know, them type of people who have spent years building their career or work very, very hard for it.
Chasing the fame.
Chasing the fame and buzz off it, and they're down when they haven't got it, you know, they're always fighting against it sort of thing. And for me, I kind of had all that. Not for as long as them, of course.
But when you were never trying for it.
Never trying for it.
Yeah.
So we
You were
always looked at it
impartial
as
when it
well.
went.
It's a bonus. Whatever comes out of it,
yeah.
I'll just take it and
Do you
run with
think,
it, you know,
do you
it's
think
a bonus,
if
you know.
it happened in current sort of society with the power of social media, do you think it'll be completely different?
Yeah, because these shows are
They're built around
kind of
social media.
influenced a bit around. They are. Yeah.
I think
But I
I
mean
think
the
all
aftermath though
reality
as well.
telly is structured around social media, you know, because the people who are going on Love Island
I've already got a big following online.
most of them are already influencers now, so then like when they
right.
come out, it's like it's the natural sort of path for them to just go straight back into what they were doing, but now they've just got more followers, they're worth a bit more
and
money.
they kind of need each other because the TV alone now doesn't have a big enough audience.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah.
I was on Big Brother, you know, on Channel
I told you
4,
that, yeah.
we'd have
Terrestrial
10
telly.
11 million people watching us on a nightly basis.
That's
crazy.
Nowadays, the last Big Brother, I think, got about 1.5 million people.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's nearly tenfold.
That's what I mean.
Now.
It was much more. It meant so much more to win it back then than what it ever will be nowadays.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
I just wish social media was out because I had to come out. So someone would have set a handle up for me. I had to come out to millions of followers.
Yeah, but
You'd be the
I
most
started a
famous
few
man in the
years ago.
world.
Now we got hundreds of thousands. Not even
I don't know though, because at
You
the
know.
same time, I think the reason why it's all gone the way it has is because of social media. So I reckon if maybe you mightn't have the deals that you had back then if social media was around. You know what I mean? Because that
Very
sort
much
of
so.
yeah.
I suppose, yeah, that's a good point because with you not having social media, but because it didn't exist, but you were a massive fucking figure. You were probably like you were the first sort of your kind. You were the first person
reality
sort
kind
of
of
famous overnight.
Star, they used to call me. You know what I mean?
Who
Reality
brands
star.
and companies can
Yeah.
now approach and be like, we're going to throw this much money at you.
Yes.
Wear this coat.
And they would do. As anyone wins a reality TV program now, the shelf life isn't there as long as what I've had 24 years of it, sort of thing. But they'll throw every kind of product, you know.
Yeah.
Have you guys got an endorsement, by the way, of his? You got a product or anything?
He's trained. I like that.
Chris, send us some tracking.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my hat. Size 14 around here.
Fucking
Yeah, I'll
Chris,
get
over here.
Take your pick.
Take me pick.
Oh, he's knocked the
Oh, he's
camera
pulled the
off.
camera out.
Everybody who was watching Face On
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah. Well in, Dan.
Not anymore, you know.
Well in. Well, he never was to begin with. Are we back on here now? Hey! Woo.
Well, we're back.
Did you even give him a cap for all that?
Yeah.
I didn't. So after all, have a little scroll through
Let's
them.
have a little look.
Look at
He's giving my caps away as well. That's my collection of
I'll have a black one, actually.
Yeah,
That's right.
pick the best one.
Jake, good, you got some of that. There you go, look at that. There you go.
Nice that.
That's kids of
Grid.
grid. Yeah, kids of grid.
Grid and camera plugs.
So what is it? So you leave.
I'm so sorry.
Well then, lad.
I'm so sorry.
So you leave Big Brother and then you're doing all like the deals and you're interviewing and you're back on
when I
there.
left Big Brother, there wasn't like corporate deals there to be done, or I didn't become an ambassador or anything like that to anything when I first come out. What I got signed up for the BBC to do some live makeover programs, a show called House Call, and I did my first day on there, and they signed me up, I think, for like a 3 or 4 year exclusive deal.
And is that just doing
give me, like,
houses up and
100
getting filmed
yeah,
and all
yeah,
stuff like that?
doing
Oh,
makeover
cool.
shows, and that was to do like I think a minimum of 100 shows per year.
Nice.
So I was like, that's cool, you know, I'll have a bit of that.
Consistent work as
yeah,
well, I
yeah,
suppose.
consistent work, and they looked after you in them days. The BBC did look after you, okay.
Let you get away with being a nonce if you really wanted to.
That was before my time. I'm not that old, fucking hell. Yeah, so I was just running around doing loads of makeover shows, and it was great. And then since, I mean, God, I've done probably more than 2,000 television makeover shows like, all over the
Any of
world
them
as well.
2000 ended up on like Cowboy Traders or anything?
No, I can gladly say no. There's been a few mishaps as well that have happened on there. But I had the building background before Big Brother, so I'd run it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I had about 30 fellas working for me
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
So that was quite good. All went in the right direction. So I didn't really need the TV.
Yeah.
But the opportunity was there
Well, you get
to make good money, from it.
You're still doing what you're doing, but then getting paid more money to do what you're doing. So
Yeah,
it's a bit of a
exactly,
no-brainer, really.
Yeah,
isn't
just
it?
gotta-
And
and
is
it was
this
easier. The TV stuff was easier to do than the building site.
Is this program? Was one episode doing up one full house, or was it like certain?
They differed really. House Call, because it was a live show, we'd done it 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. It was a big, massive mansion, and each day we would do a different room up.
Oh,
And a
okay.
makeover with a couple of designers. James
That's
Martin
cool.
was the chef. So the live cameras, Susie Perry, you know, does the presenter on some of the Formula One. Susie Perry.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
She was the presenter on it with us at the time. And she would run around from room to room. So she'd come to my room and I'd be building a kitchen or building bedroom units or something. Then she'd go to James Martin, he'd be cooking in there, the chef.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was kind of that. So I think we'd done about 8 or 9 series of that over the space of 3 or 4 years. So it was a good show. And then off that, there was pre-recorded ones where we go to people's houses and then do makeovers, like 60-minute makeover. You probably heard of that, haven't you? So done hundreds of them shows. But with doing so many television programs and doing nothing on, you know, for the first, I'm going to say, I've only really been on social the last 4 years, kind of trying to take it a bit more seriously. But for the kind of like first 15 years, I've done so many TV programs. I've become a brand ambassador to companies like where you guys have got a sponsor. I have like 7 main sponsors who I just create video content for them now. So our house, we built our own house. We built a television studio there, which is like nearly the size of a football pitch.
Shit.
So it's a big workshop, and then we just got our own camera crew. So we'll have three lads filming it. We usually have 4 cameras on, and we just shoot all content around their brands. You know, whether it's tools, workwear, silicons, paints, etc. I was shooting one today. I've got paint all over me hand. Shooting a video this morning, like, so we'll pre-record them, chop them up into 4 or 5 versions for all our socials and our YouTube channel. Mr. and Mrs. DIY, did I mention that?
Oh,
Yeah,
get that in there.
Get it in.
Right, I want you to do the most shameful plug. Right, the most shameful plug for Mr. and Mrs. DIY.
What's it called, Mr. and Mrs. DIY? Watch it. Now, money message.
So
Mr. and Mrs. DIY.
So, just to, I mean, this to figure this sound like an idiot, I'm assuming it's you and your missus.
Yeah, me and Mrs.
I was just making sure.
Yeah, me and the
Mrs. DIY just in that little triangle behind the door.
Do it yourself.
Yeah. So basically, we just make all our own content, and it came about readily with COVID, because I used to like go to the studios or go to various places where we'd shoot these online content for my sponsors. Yeah. But I never had my own YouTube channel. When we got locked down, it was a bit like, shit, what am I going to do here? Sitting here twiddling my thumbs. So I just bought a load of camera equipment, got a few lads in, broke all the rules, COVID rules, and basically shot our own content.
Serious DIY videos though, isn't it? Yeah.
So what is it that you? So what are you doing on the? So do people like I don't know, a timber company or something, or do build a birdhouse with that? And
How to bury your body under your pathway? Is it like that?
Yeah. So basically, one of them is like paint sprays. So this company, I've been their ambassador now for about 15 years now. Wagner it's called, and German company, and they make paint sprayers. So I used to go on the shopping channels and demonstrate them for them, and they'd sell tens of thousands of them, you know.
QVC,
now, QVC, we shoot it live from my house now.
Do you?
I've got to shoot where we sit here, the part where we do QVC, and it's probably about showing off now 10 times the size of this, and that's all bit. So we've just got loads of props set up, and they just satellite me through, and basically I get I log on 10 minutes before we go live, and I've usually got about 27 minutes, and I've got about 10 things to paint. And the reason I just go for it, spray the hell out of it.
Your beard then put like fake tan in it and you sprayed your beard already.
We have done it. Just once we went on the live show, but that was in the studio in Ideal World, I think, in Peterborough, and I sprayed it with body spray.
Ron Seal fucking fence.
And then was she doing like cough prints around the office?
And my wife hasn't got a cough. I sprayed it.
I never assume these days.
2024, we just don't know, do we? No, but that's sick.
Except on a Friday, actually.
That's what that wall is there. I tried to do cough prints, but my belly was the first. My belly was getting in the way.
So is that you full time now? Is that what you do? In terms of building and stuff, is it not really like?
No, we have a load of houses that we rent out, so we always do refurbs and rebuilds and things.
Yourselves
there.
And
like we got about 50 odd tenants, so that side of us keeps us busy doing that side. But I don't have any customers where I'll do building work for anybody. Yeah. We just do that's the real work.
That's
on
for
the
peasants.
houses.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then we just log up. I think we've done about 460 odd videos now.
Really?
On our YouTube, on our Mr. and Mrs. DIY TV
Mr. and
YouTube
Mrs.
channel.
DIY.
Did it take a while for that to build up? Just because, like, I know you've got the name for yourself, but then it's harder to then, especially like however, like 20 odd years after it, trying to then jump onto it.
Yeah.
Was it a slow
And
burn?
your beard's on your coattails, fuck off.
I kind of,
my name.
because I'd worked with so many different producers and directors, I got a real understanding of what they were shooting and how much content they wanted, and then I'd oversee some of the edits. But the things I was building, they couldn't really direct me on them because I design what I was building, and I can build them with my eyes closed. They were just basic small builds. So I started directing the directors on what I was building. Yeah. So I learned them skills, and then when we kind of was locked down, I was quite competent then. Get 3 or 4 cameras, get a few guys in from university, you know. Yeah. Literally get them behind them, and I'll direct
Cheap
them.
labour, flying.
Cheap labour,
Yeah. And they're still with me today. Still with me, the good lads like Jake and Nick.
It's a good little business model then,
Do you know what I think's good as well? Obviously, because you said before, like you've met certain celebrities, and like because they do chase like the fame when they've not got it, or like that, because anybody who's famous as a celebrity, your popularity is always up and down, and down, and like when it goes down, then it brings them down with it. I think like, I mean, I don't know if you agree, but what seems good with what you've done is you had your time in the spotlight, and then you've been able to then take a step back from it, but then build stuff for yourself
around
the back of it. You haven't just like...
I think part of my long-going success is I had the building skills. I
Yeah.
had all the trades. I'm
actual
kind
skill.
of multi-skilled. I'm bricklayer, carpenter, plastering. So I can do everything on
Can you
building a
plaster,
house. Yeah.
Some shit on our house. Doing that.
He actually
Doesn't
has as
deal
well.
with
You know.
peasants, fuck off.
Could be a good video for the Mr. and Mrs.
We'll come and do it for the channel, eh?
Yeah.
Go for our channels.
You ain't in here first.
But you've got to be my labourer.
Listen, I'll be
You've
your
got to
labourer
mix it
any
for
day.
me.
Lad, I'll mix your gear any day. Lad, don't worry about it.
I bet you would.
So just how far ahead is planning then with what you're doing on the YouTube? Just have like a thing, we're doing this week, this, that week.
We kind of, I mean, it got to about August last year, and we had to say no for no more work for the rest of the year. We had that many videos booked up. I think I've got about 28 to 30 videos I've got to produce and shoot, and because I produce them all now and script write them all and stage set them, I have a guy who helps me off camera. You know, if I'm sanding something down, once we do the bits, mainly bits for camera, fucking let him do it.
Here's one prepared.
Here's one I've done, mate.
Don't tell anyone. Cut that bit out.
You're not paying him for nothing.
No.
Do you actually want us to cut that out?
No, I'm only joking.
Okay, I was going to let Jack know behind the camera.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Should we cut the bit out where we were all being openly racist, or do we leave that? I say leave it in.
I haven't started yet.
Get jaded.
Let's get a dartboard for on the wall.
So you were having to turn work down in the end because you had that much coming in.
Yeah. Because we do a bit now on social media. We get loads of people say, "Oh, would you do as a video using our tool or using our brand or this, that, and the other?" And because we generally say no to the one-offs who just want to like pay you, oh, there's a couple of quid, do this and do one video, because the brands that we work with, these 7 that we work with, we've worked with them, a couple of them only 2 or 3 years, but some of them like 5, 6, like 12, 15 years and things, So for them, we just kind of agree an annual fee, and then basically they get me for X amount of days. So they'll get me for 5 days for pre-production, 5 days for shooting, 5 days for editing.
You've worked that out well.
Yeah. So DIY haul, I love it.
You've found a formula that works.
It is, and it's a niche because, as you said, all these people in fucking reality TV are just influencers, and that's all they've got. You've got a background, a core skill, a trade, and it's a niche market.
Well, the difference is as well, is because when you went into Big Brother, there was no such thing as being an influencer. There was no such thing as just being a social media.
The word
so,
wasn't even invented.
To be an influencer back then, you had to actually like influence like the world. You know what I mean? You didn't just put like post a picture of you with like with a bra on. You know what I mean? Like it's probably worked. That's why you probably had such success in like a longer term as well, because you've actually had a skill, and it's not just I'll take a picture holding this drill and being look at it. Like you can back up what you're advertising there, and you can actually demonstrate it.
Talking about people holding drills, right?
Can't wait for this.
It's not that bad, right?
Did the drills out?
Yeah. No, on the weekend we were decorating the kids' rooms and that, and I was in like my 14-year-old daughter Lila was in her room, and she had some screws in the wardrobe, and she was like, I want to take these out. So I just gave her the drill and went, take them out. So I was like, just put it in reverse, take it out. So my babe was there, and she took it out. My babe went, boss, that you teaching and stuff like that? Like, I've never thought of doing it like that. And my daughter recently came out as a lesbian, right? And she went, because I'm a lesbian, I need to know. And I went, what?
No, it isn't.
She's got a point. She's got a point. Oh, is she not?
I went, why do you need to know? She went, I'm going to put a big fucking drill on the end like that. And I was like,
like, whoa, stop it. So, have you got any kids yourself?
What else are you teaching at home then?
So have you got any kids yourself?
Yeah, I've got 2 little ones. I'm an old daddy. I've got a little boy, he's 3, called Lennon, and a little girl, Leonard.
Lennon,
yeah.
I've got a Lennon.
Have you? Yeah,
he's a dickhead
though.
Yeah, no,
my
he's
one's
7.
a little fucker at the moment. I want a bloody.
How old are they?
He's 3, and my daughter's 5.
Do you ever
Five
find a way to get them, incorporate them into anything you do?
Or
Yeah,
keeping
they've
them
been
out
in
of
a
it?
few
No?
videos,
Oh,
yeah. The other week, about 2-3 months ago, and ironically, it's turned into the fastest growing video on our YouTube channel.
Oh,
It's-
shit.
It's been up for nearly 6 or 7 weeks, got about 178,000 views on it.
Nice.
And it's all it is a resin driveway that you pour on this resin on loose stone. And they said in the description of what they wanted, they went, the before shots of loose stone, they want to get shots of you kicking it around and it being a nuisance on someone's drive.
don't you hate
Get your
when your
dog in it,
stones are
get your
loose?
dog lock it up. Yeah, all that shit. And he went, get a shot of,
Kidneys don't like that.
get a shot of you pulling the bin through it and things. So we were like, you know what, we'll get the kids out and get the kids fucking throwing stones at one another, kicking them all around.
Hey.
That's what they do, don't they?
Boss.
They go into someone's garden, there's a nice clean pathway with little decorative stones. They fucking
Throwing
them
them,
Yeah, you're throwing them.
yeah, of course you are, yeah. So you pour this shit on them basically, and it's solid. Kid comes on it next day. Kids are
Hang on the stone, kids are
Can't
fuming,
pick
lad.
So when you pour the resin on, does
Yeah.
it like create like a driveway over
It's
the?
not quite a driveway. You can just walk across it because it only pours between the stones and holds them all in position. Like
That's cool, though.
It's cool. It's a clever little invention. Yeah,
gonna watch that video.
It's good. What's the video?
Yeah.
Do you know what channel you can get it on?
Mrs.
DIY.
DIY.
Magic.
What we'll do is we'll put a link in
I
the
need to get
description.
used. I need to get used down.
Get
on
it
the
on.
tools.
Get it
on
on.
the tools.
Yes.
Building
Let's do
something
it.
with me.
Yes.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do a building
I
I
challenge.
can't build shit, so it'll be boss.
Let's get it sorted.
We'll build ourselves a new studio.
Whoa!
Here's one we prepared.
I will do that. I love building. Right.
Do you like building? Yeah.
The thing with me, right? No. Let me.
Hasn't touched the tool since his own lad. That was
The only tool you handle.
Let me land. IKEA stuff, amazing. I'm amazing at that. If you've got to give me,
Debatable.
you've got no. I'm not saying that's amazing, but I'm amazing at building IKEA stuff. Okay? Right? But if you, I'm one of them.
Give me
If you give me
Setting
loads of
himself up for this challenge here.
yeah,
isn't he?
if you give me stuff and it was just like build, I'd be like, oh. But if I had instructions, I would build the shit out of that.
Are you that boring? You read the instructions?
Yeah, I've got to. Oh my word, I've
don't
got
do
to.
that.
Listen, I've got to do that because if I don't, I'd fuck it up somewhere. Know what I mean? I've got to read them instructions.
We need to get this done, you know what I'm saying?
I've just thought of an idea then.
We're going to build a Helter Skelter.
I've just thought of an idea. So the three of us will come to
Yeah.
the big
Come to our
studio that you've
workshop.
got.
Yeah, studio workshop.
And if you decide what we need to build, whether it be out of wood, out of whatever material you see fit,
Kids.
and then we've obviously got like the day to do it.
Yeah.
We'll film intermittently in between it, and then at the end of it, once all three of us have got our finished products,
We judge you.
you've got to give it like a little test, make sure, and then
This will kill.
Do you know what? You've read me mind, right? It's the first time I'm going to talk about this publicly. I've come up with this idea.
Okay.
I haven't patented it yet, but we started to do a few little podcasts. I've only done about 6 of them so far, and I've enjoyed them because in our house we've got a little bar and things like that, so we just get a beer when we're doing it. Anyway, I've got access to quite a lot of celebrities, people I know, have worked with and support charity with and things like that. So this dates back to a TV program I thought of an idea. It was about 10 years ago. I got it commissioned, and it was called Celebrity DIY with Craig Phillips. Because every time I went into a celeb's house,
Originally.
they would say, Craig, have you got your tools? Can you fix this? Can you fix this? And I was thinking, fucking, this keeps happening all the time.
Yeah.
So I pitched an idea to the channel and got it commissioned. So we went to 15 different celebs' houses, done this, and it was all good and successful. And every time I went to a celeb's house, for an example, one was Frankie Dettori, you know, the jockey sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he's a pal of mine we've partied with for years and things. Anyway, when we went to his house, I was like, Frankie, I don't want to talk to you about horses because every interview you do is about horses.
Yeah.
I know fuck all about horses, so I would look stupid anyway.
It's got
Let's
4
talk
legs
to you
and a
about
big dick.
tools. Let's talk to you about building, what you do in your house. Let me put power tools in your hand and let you fuck it up type of thing.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know. So we done it that way and it was really well. But I've thought of another idea.
Go on.
And you boys,
There we go.
are you celebrities yet, by the way? 'Cause
Yeah,
you
of course
could-
we are.
You could be my first
Yeah.
guests on it.
Yes.
Okay? This is the format. You come to my house to do the podcast.
Yeah.
I've got my workshop studio set up.
Yeah.
But I set a task
With your sex
that
ring.
all three of you have got to do in a certain amount of time.
Okay.
And
You just set
then
that?
we have a leaderboard, a little bit like the Top Gear's.
Yeah.
fastest
Thing
lap.
goes fast as
Yes.
well. Stars in it was it stars in a cheap car or something?
Yeah.
Stars
Time
in
to
a-
start in that reasonably priced
reasonably
car.
priced. Oh, that's the one, yeah. So
Abby the
basically,
steak.
you could be the openers of the show. Yes. You've all got to compete against each other. I'll set out 3 little tasks, bit of plastering, bit of tiling, bit of painting with a paint sprayer. It's like a gun, you like it.
I was a stonemason for a little while, so I've got a bit of
Was you?
experience.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now we
I'm just saying, I just think I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I just think I'm going to win.
You think
So
you're going to
much
win?
experience.
Okay,
He's
you've heard it here now.
He's not going to win.
You think you're going to be the
Honest,
winner?
he's got so much experience. He's done it for fucking days.
I was a stonemason for like quite some
Like
few
2
months.
months.
Couple of months.
Loads of
Wait,
experience.
how long were you a
Is this
stonemason
one
for?
when you
I
stoned
should-
or not?
See, this is the thing, though, right? I'm saying nothing now because I should win this competition.
You should.
As a father of 4
Why should you?
and an
Yes.
engineer.
You've just been asking him to
Especially giving your daughter a drill.
Yeah, so I should
You
win
think
this,
we're giving
right?
a sauce or what?
No, but
That sounds bad.
you're there.
Giving your daughter a drill. A cordless Makita drill.
I thought it was Black and Decker.
Fucking hell, I'm getting old,
It was
man.
Black and Decker. Anyway. But
You're showing your age now.
We done a food special, right? And I was like, I'm going to win this because I cook all the time. And I come dead last.
No, I can go last.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Oh
but
yeah, you won
I pipped
by
him.
a whisker.
I think we need to have a forfeit then.
Okay.
Whoever loses on
Yeah.
the day.
If I lose, you got to drink the
Oh,
fucking
no, you
driveway
got
lesson.
to put a nail on 3/4 skin.
We will think of the
No.
we'll think of the forfeit. We just won't tell you until
Okay.
we're live on
Oh,
camera.
nice. Okay.
How's that?
Got it.
Should we get
yeah,
that
deal.
sorted?
Is it
Yeah,
sorted? Deal.
I like that. That's
Sorted,
it.
yeah.
I
Sorted.
like that.
I like it.
How long have you been
It's in the
recording
bag.
for?
We'll have
Roger?
to eat the wood chippings.
An hour.
Listen, Craig, you best follow through with this, you know, because
I'm
I'm
That's
gonna-
getting
cool.
excited.
I like that.
going
That's
to-
a sick
I like
idea.
Because if you
Use
don't,
it
right,
gonna-
I'm going to put a picture of me on the couch so you touch me in the no-no.
No, don't
Right,
touch me
I
there.
reckon we. I reckon we.
Wait, then what are we on there?
Just over an hour.
Just
Are we recording the Patreon too this week?
no.
No.
Advert.
I think what we do then,
Advert, yes.
I think what we should do, Craig, is once we've all left the studio tonight, we'll make a little group chat, the
Yep.
4 of us,
Yep,
and we will
definitely
actually
get it sorted.
we'll get the wheels rolling on that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a
It'll
very
be a
good
good laugh.
idea.
I think it's got
I've been
good mileage.
fanboying all day, haven't I? Because I'm a bit older, and I was like, Craig's going on, you know. I'm made up, you know this. I'm made up, man. I'm going to be in the overalls and everything.
It'll be a laugh. I think there's good mileage in it.
I think
Yes.
we should do that. I definitely
Yes.
think we should do it. Well,
Especially because we can't fucking build as well.
I know.
Yeah, that's the best thing
what's
about
make
it.
funny.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Call
yeah.
it can't build,
So
won't
be
build.
like, does everyone remember the Generation game? You're probably a bit too young for that.
I do remember it.
You remember it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a little bit of hint of that, and a little bit of hint of the Top Gear with the leaderboard.
Wait, what's the generation game?
See if I can find it for you.
The Generation, I got took on it once as a guest. I think he was hosting it. He went on Celebrity Big Brother, but got into a bit of trouble, I think, for being racist.
I'm seeing a
There's a
theme.
plan, yeah, there's a plan, yeah.
I think I'm going to
Jim
go on Big
Davidson.
Brother.
Jim Davidson. Comedian Jim Davidson. do you know?
Oh, fucking hell, yeah,
Yeah,
they've actually, yeah.
I don't
And he
know.
was a bit, little
I
bit,
think he was a bit homophobic, wasn't he? With
we all are, it's all right. Who's not?
Ryan, yeah.
Brucey was on it, weren't he, as well?
Was he?
Brucey's Generation game, that
Oh,
one.
yeah, we started with him.
Yeah.
I'm
Bruce
not that
Forsyth.
old, though.
But what is it? What's the premise? What's the...
Premise behind it? Let's see what it is. What is the Generation game? The Generation game is a British game show produced by the BBC, in which 4 teams of 2 people from the same family but different generations compete to win prizes.
But they had to do DIY kind of tasks,
Yeah.
like wallpapering and
Oh, okay,
things like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like, yeah.
What do we go on with
And
wallpaper?
I'll let you in on a little secret as well.
I seen
Dirty
a hack on
BBC.
wallpaper today. So.
So I went on as the expert. So you got a live audience in them days, a studio, 100 odd people
Yeah,
or
yeah.
so. It was pre-recorded. And they tell me what the task is. The families don't know what it is. So they'd set up these 4 little booths, like rooms, where they had to wallpaper up the wall and up the ceiling. So I'd go out as the expert to say to them, this is what you got to do. There's your tools. Do it in A, B, and C. And then I would do the live demonstration in front of the audience.
Did you fail?
So, no, but what they said to me was, Dirty BBC, they said, okay, you mix up all the adhesive. Mix up all yours perfect so yours goes on great.
Fuck
Their
this up.
adhesive, fuck it up. Mate, they're too thick, they're too thin, they're too dry.
Just big,
So
chunky
they,
jizz.
yeah, just to make better TV.
Yeah, that's
and it
fucking
worked
funny.
as well.
Shit. He was like, that, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
It's my adhesive, lad.
That's funny,
That'll
that.
stick.
That's
Baby,
funny,
back
that.
to all up the walls. That was Victoria.
BBC.
Do you know what that BBC, the scene, they lost the powers in the Dr. Evil and those and they're all going,
That was all said. Yeah.
I was fucking boss.
Do you know what? I've been in a movie with... He's dead now, isn't he? Little
Vernon.
Vernon.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
Vernon. Yeah. Oh, God, in Ireland. It was, we shot it in Ireland.
You just dropped all these names.
Yeah.
No, keep coming. I
Look,
love
just
that
when you
name
mentioned that, I've worked with some fucking
What was
bonkers
the
people.
film called?
So how we met was,
you
Boat
trip
Selector.
over him?
No, he wasn't in Boat Selector with us. No, Keith Lemon doing the lemon juice.
Yeah.
He used to bring him on there quite regularly.
Yeah.
Carry the little fucker
Carry him
around,
on.
put him around like this.
You have to make a kennel for him.
So they done the movie, the Keith Lemon movie.
Yeah. He was in that,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
So they invited me in that to be in it, part
was
of
you
it.
in
Like,
it?
yeah. So some of the scenes we were shooting, I was out there for 3 or 4 days with him.
That's so cool.
He is, well, he was, should I say, such a bizarre character. I know you shouldn't, this sounds real bad, you shouldn't stare at anyone with any form of disability or anything like
No,
that.
he looked like a dick.
He was about that tall, okay?
Did you ever pick him up?
And no, I didn't. No. But you kind of like, I could not stop looking at him. Honest to God.
It's the
But the funny
hands.
thing was, we'd have a chat with him and stuff, and you're all standing around. And on this particular day on the set, they had about 40 models, these birds in all in bikinis and things like that. So you're looking
Everyone's
at, you're
staring at
looking
the
at all
birds,
the
you're
birds
staring
like
at
that.
the
He's like that, walking around, looking up there,
You're just
scared,
staring at his little
looking at
thumb
them. You stand,
Is that shit, Goody?
you stand. You are a real cunt.
Ah, Craig. That's
I
not
was
even the
warned
half
about
of
you.
it,
I was warned. Bless her, fucking hell.
I know.
But you know what he did? I'm standing there talking to him, and he's like that, having a little look at the birds up there. He's
That's
kind
funny,
of like.
laugh.
He couldn't
You
even
know
get
what?
angry at him, though. He's so cute.
No, that's it. Just get all cute. But you're talking to him for 1 minute, and you turn round, and he's fucking gone. And you think, where's he gone? And do you know what it is? There's a table there. And he's walked underneath the table and come out the other side. Now,
That's his message.
he does that on a day-to-day basis. I've never seen anyone walk under a fucking table.
That's
So
fucking
am I
nuts.
in the wrong for staring? I couldn't stop.
Have you seen the picture of him with the foot-long subway?
Yeah, it's amazing. hey, let me tell you the story, yeah. Hey, let me tell you the
But
story.
he has the last laugh. He did marry a porn star.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in a porn. Did
He
you
was
see?
in a porn,
He was in a
yeah,
porno.
yeah.
Yeah, have you not
I mean,
seen
I
it?
don't
It's
watch that
crazy.
sort of stuff, so I'll
yeah,
have to take your
all
word
right,
for
yeah.
it.
I know, yeah. It was the porn star you were talking about before.
Nicola.
Yeah. It's a bit of a theme.
Say the picture of him with the... Did you say the picture of him with the foot long or in the foot long?
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, Craig, do you want to hear a funny story then about Vernon Troyer?
Yeah.
Right, so I used to work... Right, so I used to work in the Echo Arena, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like catering and whatever. And I remember being on this like food station one day, and it was when Comic-Con was on. So it was like, it was sort of a mixture of like staff and like people who were there like to take pictures. So there was like people from like fucking Vampire Diaries and fucking Doctor Who and whatever. And then, but Vernon Troyer was one of the persons on the lineup thing. So I was at like a station, just like fucking whatever. And then I've just said, hello. And I've just been like, I went, what the fuck was that? Like, I half shit myself a little bit because I was like, where the fuck did that come from? Ignored it. Then it was like, hello, excuse me. And then I had to look over the table. It was Vernon Troyer. He was like, where's the sandwiches? And I was like, I was so
Pick him up and run with him. Give me a foot long.
It was so...
Only dick! Time to bite it! Go ahead. It's only 6 inches, but you can have it.
Let me get a photo.
I couldn't believe that it was even... I was so starstruck. And then he was in a corner.
I was quite starstruck with him, like, yeah.
He was next level.
What was he like? Because he was like a fucking A-list.
He was,
fucking...
yeah, he was quite serious when he was doing his film, and he didn't want to talk to anyone because he had his lines that he wanted to say and do and things like that. But once he kind of got all them out the way, he was quite cool and he was chill.
He's
Like,
a normal
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't believe he married a fucking porn star.
Yeah.
I never
Married
knew
the
that.
porn.
Do you reckon she just like threw him up there?
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine he got much power
I
behind
can't
it.
even picture it, can you?
I think he was packing, you know.
I'm going to Google it.
I think he was packing, you know.
Google
He'd done a porno. I'm sure he was packing, you know.
Sure, he was.
Or maybe...
It might have looked big in
Yeah. That's
proportion
right.
with him.
Yeah. That's it.
And the history of your eyes as well.
Yeah,
Your eyes
I know,
are a bit
yeah.
fucking
Blurry as
needy, aren't
fuck,
they?
yeah.
I just Googled Vernon Troyer penis.
Purely
Purely out of
Vernon
morbid...
Troyer cock. Go on.
Purely out of morbid curiosity. Look, there he is with... Fuck off, he's not... So
That's Wee Man, yeah.
that's Wee Man.
Neil and Dan, by the way.
That's Wee Man off Jackass. So is he really
No,
that small?
literally, Danny, literally, he was next
Oh
level.
my
to God.
God.
When
I hope to God
when
he
I
never
turn
went to Epstein's
when I
Island.
turn
They
my
would have
phone
used
on-
him like a fucking footy, wouldn't he? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
When I turn my phone after, I'll show you a picture of him with me, and literally I had to literally squat down. I'd say he's that tall.
Yeah.
No.
It was random. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, bless him.
What was... I mean, what was the porn star? I mean, no offense to Vin, I'm sure he was a lovely little
She's
fella,
probably
but
just with him for his profile.
Yeah.
Obviously, guys.
Yeah,
No
but-
offense to him and that, but like,
Because he's a movie star. He's
Yeah.
known worldwide.
he was big at the time as well, wasn't he?
Very.
well, he wasn't.
Walked into
No,
that
he
one.
was
was
started
never
off big
big.
and shrink.
Yeah. I walked into that one.
that way.
That's fucking. That's great. I've not been able to find a picture of his dick. Disappointingly enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've got a funny story about you. I'm going to name drop another one in now.
Oh,
Do it.
please
I love the
do.
name
I
drop.
got-
Because
yeah,
he's
all
known
names.
worldwide, right? He's
Yeah.
known worldwide, and you'll all know this character is worldwide. Mike Tyson.
Yes.
Okay, so
Stop it.
I grew up watching Tyson as a kid. You know, I'm only a few years younger than watching him all through his career and admired him. You know, I loved me boxing and things. I still do love me boxing. Anyway, I'm a pal with a guy called Big Joe Egan. Don't know if you've heard of him, have you? He was a sparring partner with Mike Tyson for about 4 years. And his autobiography is worded by Mike Tyson saying, the hardest white man on the planet.
Is he a bald fella, loads of tattoos?
No, he's still got a bit of hair, Joe. has. Yeah, he's still got a bit of hair, Joe.
Was he just a sparring partner, or did he actually fight himself?
No, he did. Yeah, he was Irish heavyweight champion, I think 7 times, and Olympian, something like that, when he was a kid. But
I'm on him.
he could never, I mean, he's
Let's
a good
see,
friend
let's
of mine. He's going to come on my podcast, he is.
That was him back in the day.
Big Joe Egan.
I've seen him on a podcast talking about
Yes.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I've seen
that's
that.
right,
Yeah.
So he's a real good friend of mine. Come to my wedding, went to his wedding and everything. But anyway, he kept saying to me, kept telling me all about Mike Tyson and things. And I said, listen, I've met everyone that you want to meet in England. I've worked with them. I've met them one way or another. And they don't do much for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Victoria.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
The
they don't do much for me. But I really wanted to meet Mike Tyson. I really fucking did. Anyway, he rings, he said, Mike's going to be in England. He's doing a couple of PAs. Here's the bodyguard's phone number. I've arranged it. You can go to his hotel. Say hello
Hey,
to
Craig,
him.
how's you
So
doing,
I was
man?
like,
You've got to make him a
fucking
bed box
great.
before you go.
So anyway, I'll get to that story in a minute. About
When
the
was this? Was this the Coke days?
This was when he was really out of shape. Big belly like this. Yeah.
Sniffing his
smashing
brains
the
out.
gear, yeah. Anyway, I was getting all fucking excited about it. And Joe was like, don't take your pals or anything like that. Just you go.
Yeah.
So I was
Just
like,
you
okay,
and a
I rings
50
this
bag
thing.
of-
Yeah. Rings him.
Stands up.
And I turns up like a tourist. I've got a fucking camera in my pocket there, spare battery. I've got my phone, everything ready. Rings this dude and he comes down to this bodyguard comes down. And he's a big American guy like that. Fucking neck's rippled. Proper gangster.
Yeah.
You know, I'm about up to there on him. Anyway,
Felt
goes in the
Vince,
lift. Goes in the lift. Goes upstairs to this suite. He's hardly really talking to me,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He doesn't give a fuck about me. Gets to the door where the suite is. There's 2 other bruises outside, equally as big.
Yeah.
Did you just say to me, say now, your hands up against the wall? I went, excuse me? He went, turn around, your hands against the wall. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Put my hand up, fucking body search me like this. I'm thinking, what am I going to do to Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you kidding me? I was like, I've got a camera there, mate, and this, he fucking search one. Goes into this suite. 2 other big bruisers over at the bar, having a drink like that, looking at me, real gangster, horrible looking, you know what I mean? I'm now getting fucking nervous.
Yeah, I can
Like,
imagine.
it's a big suite. I can see Tyson over the other side. He's putting his cufflinks on. His shirt open. I can see his belly out like this. He's in like boxies or shorts or something. And I'm trying not to look. I'm trying not to look, but you just look, you know.
If
I'm
Mike
looking at the
Tyson's in the
guys-
room, you're looking at him, aren't you?
Yeah. He's another one like
Yeah,
Vernon
yeah,
Troy.
yeah.
You can't not stare. And I'm trying not to stare. I can hear him kind of go, wow, I'm breathing like this. And everyone's quiet, looking at the guys at the bar, and I'm thinking, I'm trying to like say, how are you guys? You okay? Looking for a good night? Looking forward to a good night? Don't even want to talk to me. And I'm thinking, oh, guys, just say, look, lad, do you want a drink?
At least say hello, innit?
Just got, you know,
Break
make me
the
feel a
ice.
little bit welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fucking terrified now, you
You
know.
wanted to use you as a flashlight.
Next minute, this guy, the boy, one who walks me upstairs, he says to me, wait there, walks across the room and says, Mike, got a guest here. Have you got a minute? Have you got a guest been arranged? Tyson just ignores him. He's just like this,
Oh,
fucking
that
around.
shit
His
me
golf,
kept, you know.
pacing up and down like this he was. Just, I could even see his fucking face is sweating and things. And I'm like, oh my days, anyway. And the bodyguards are like treading on eggshells a little bit, you know what I mean? He kind of walks back over to me, just wait there a minute. And I'm like, okay, you know.
I'd
These
have gone
guys
on
at the
it.
bar thinking,
Yeah.
come on, man, give us a fucking beer or something. Anyway, walks across the second time. Excuse me, Mike, there's been somebody arranged, blah, blah, blah. he ignores him again. Now I'm thinking,
Get
off.
I'm just going to say, listen, guys, I can see you're busy. It's cool, I'll go, you know what I mean? But I've told all my mates. I've told all my mates I'm having a drink with him in his room, and I thought I'm going to get pictures of us having a laugh and all things like that. I haven't even got a fucking camera out my pocket. You know, third time. He goes fucking tiptoeing over to the ring, and as soon as he went, excuse me, mate, he stops like that ring, fucking glares right across the room at me like that. I just remember seeing his tattoo and his fucking sweat and his belly as well, right? And he just went like that. And then fucking power walked towards me. Right? As if that bodyguard wasn't even there. He just power walked across this big suite right over to me. My stomach was dropping out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I might put my hand out. He shook my hand like that, squeezes me kind of quite tight, and he's just glares at me like this in my face. I started to panic waffle. Right? All this bullshit was coming up. I might be big fan of that. All that type of stuff that I said to myself, do not do the fan shit.
Yeah.
Don't fucking tell him you know, oh, pictures of you on me. What? None of that shit. Just anyway. About 20 or 30 seconds went by. He's still got hold of my hand like this, and he's fucking strong. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this sweat, and I'm trying not to look down at his belly, but it's there. You know what I mean?
Your hand's
and
resting on him.
Now, he hasn't even said a word to me. So I think, Craig, compose yourself, man. You're talking too fast. He can't understand your accent, and you're waffling bollocks. Yeah. So I got my breath, and I was like, Mike, I said, I'm very good friends with your pal, Big Joe Egan. Yeah. He said he trained with you in the Catskills Mountains with Costamado. He helped build the pigeon aviaries and things like that. Flying. I thought, I'll let a little raw nerve here, and you know, we'll break this barrier. Didn't work. He just squeezed me. He just fucking glared at me. That was it.
Really?
I fucking went like, put my hands out of his hand. Went, Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Cheers, boys. Like, I was fucking out the room. Like, gone down the corridor. I was thinking, oh my days, I didn't even get a fucking picture.
Fucking hell, don't meet your heroes.
Don't meet your heroes.
Don't meet your
heroes.
heroes, don't win it, Jesus.
So I just like, I come out in the car park, I phoned Big Joe, I was like, fucking hell, man. And he went, what you done, Craig? What did he say to you? Well, the thing is, Joe, he didn't say a single word. He just fucking intimidated me, squeezed me hand and breathed on me, sort of thing. And he was just
I think I'd have passed out there, you know, I think I'd have been there.
He just thought, oh my days. So anyway, Joe says, don't you worry, he said, the event's on next week with me. He said, I'm doing some security with him. I'll take you, you know, it's fine. So anyway, week later it goes, and there's other boxers there now. There's Ricky Hatton, a new Ricky, was Tim Witherspoon, a few other boxers who had all met many a times. So I'm chatting with them, and he's all dressed now. He's in a dinner suit and things. Anyway, and then Mike says, oh, and this is me little pal Craig. You have to come and have a look. And he's kind of laughing. I always got around, kind of saying hello, like kind of pulled me around a bit. And as a photographer, you know, getting pictures. So I thought, great, getting me pictures all done. Oh, really good. So having a little bit of a chat with him. I thought he's in a kind of a happy mood. You know, he's got his cufflinks fastened and everything. So I said to him, Mike, I said, you know the movie The Hangover? And you've seen The Hangover. Yeah. I said, at the end, when they find the camera and they're going through the pictures, and then they find one of the pictures when they've gone and took your tiger, and you're asleep on the bed. I said, and they're going like that with their hand under your chin, you know, as if they've KO'd you. Yeah. When I went like that, right, my hand, you know, by his chin, like fucking lightning, his hand went bang, gripped my hand, bang, like, and just went dead slowly, pulled it to my chin, pulled it to his chin, like that, and my stomach dropped. As out of shape as he was then.
Yeah, of a fucking kid. Yeah,
his instinct, lightning speed, whole body tense up, feet in the ground, bang. He just grips me, pulls it right under my chin. And I was just like, oh, my fucking day. So I've actually got great pictures of me and Mike having a laugh. Like that under his chin.
That's
me looking
so
terrified.
sick.
And him squeezing me like that. Right under
You're this man,
and my stomach's now come out the bottom of my arse.
So what was he all right with you after, even though he was a bit of a fucking weirdo before?
You know what? And again, I started to fucking panic waffle again with my. At one point, I think I was apologising about last week in the hotel, and I just thought, Craig,
sorry for being there, lad.
Shut the fuck up. He doesn't remember. He doesn't care. He doesn't even know yet.
I've
met him another 2 or 3. Probably another 2 or 3 times. I met him and he signed some gloves and things like that. He still hasn't got a fucking clue who I am.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson,
remember me, that, like, no,
Because you know, you've got to think with people like Mike Tyson, how many other times has there been a situation where, oh, do you just want to say hello to this person? He probably fucking does that. Like, dozen times a day, sometimes.
A million times a day.
Years ago, fucking Evander Holyfield was in Waterstone signing for his book, right? And we were in college in Myrtle Street.
Is that when you went in with half an ear?
Yeah, we went down, and like, being a lad, Sean Brew, we were in school with, we were like, getting pictures with him, and we were like, pretend to bite his ear. Like, so, I think like that. Sean went like that, Sean went, and opened his mouth and scored the guy, just went, no! And grabbed him back. Did he? He was trying like that, and pretend to bite his ear. Like.
That's so funny, lad.
Would you say
wouldn't you?
Would you say he's the in terms of, well, for yourself, celebrity status, do you reckon he's the top dog who you've been?
Yeah, I would say, he was the one I most wanted to meet. Who else did I meet was quite surprising. It was funny. Well, I'm putting this one up because our lads showed me a video of it today. They found this video. I got called up by this PR company one day and went, oh, Craig, do you want to come to London? Mr. T is doing this campaign for Snickers, you know, the more nuts. It was like the more nuts campaign. And they were like, we want all like muscly guys and this, that, and the other.
Do you know anyone?
And I was thinking, what are you fucking asking me for? So anyway, the girlfriend at the time, the girl that I was seeing at the time lived in London. So I was like, well, I'm going to London anyway. So yeah, I'd love to meet Mr. T.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? From the A-team and all things like that. So I went down there and I got to meet him and he was really cool. But I remember, I was saying to the lads about this today, remember shaking his hand and he kind of gave us like a cuddle like that when we were getting the pictures. And I was expecting his head and his hands to be like concrete, you know, just this big rough-ass fucking tough guy. Yeah. And it was dead soft and like manicured and all that. His hands, and I thought, oh, he's a bit of a wimp maybe. Just turned into a bit of a pussy lady.
Did you tell him?
So, no, I didn't tell him. No. But then I must have kind of got on well with them because the PR company phoned me and said, do you want to host this video where they're picking these group of guys and they're doing this campaign, who's got the most nuts, you know, who's the most manliest type of thing. And it's around a Mr. T campaign with Snickers. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And all lads dug it out today and showed me a video. It was 10, 15 years ago. And I haven't seen it since. But it's great because the start of it, it's Mr. T going, my main man, Craig Phillips, he's coming, he's going to kick your ass and he's going to do this. And then it cuts to me with all these lads then doing this building.
That's so shit.
That's so
So it's like I've got an intro in a video from Mr. T.
That's
Doesn't get any better than that.
That would be the coolest thing. That would be the coolest thing anyone's got, you know. Anyway, that's so sick, man. Remember when you got Rampage Jackson to play Mr. T? Remember when the A-team?
Yeah.
I thought that film was boss. I thought that film was fucking
Is there anyone you've ever met who you, or probably
disappointed?
Disappointed, thought, you know what, you're a bit of a arsehole, you?
Yeah, I call him out here now. But I know his brother's a mate of mine, but it was Gary Lineker was a bit of a tit.
Was he?
Time, yeah.
You know his brother Wayne.
I know his
Wayne's
brother
the
Wayne.
man.
No, I get on really well with his brother Wayne, like, and he always looks after him.
That's always a common theme with them too. Everyone gets on with
everyone
Wayne, but no one likes Gary.
And I told Wayne this one time in one of his bars or something like that, really. And I told him, and tell you where we were. I was the first year of coming out of Big Brother in September. When it got to Christmas, I'd been promoting a Christmas single. A lad from Liverpool wrote a Christmas single for me, so I agreed to do it. I couldn't sing for my life, but within doing it, it went to silver this first day of release, I think it was. We donated 40 grand to the Down Syndrome Society. Oh, nice. So that was part of the deal. If it sold well, we give 50% of the profits to them, you know. So I was like, yeah, I'll do the song. Well, anyway, you'd have to do loads and loads of promotions for it. So I was going on every show, like Top of the Pops, all these chat shows and all that bollock stuff, doing interviews about it. It was the last gig before Christmas Eve, and I was due to fly home, and I can't even remember what TV show it was, but turned up in the green room, and the other guest that was on there was Gary Lineker. So Gary was there with his young son. When I say young son, he's older now, but he had, I think, leukemia, his boy.
Oh, did he, yeah?
He's about 13 or 14 at the time, his boy. And I was there with little Joanne Harris, the Down syndrome girl, and him mum and things that was with us. And anyway, you're in a green room. You're the guests on that programme. Yeah. Right, and we're not just Joe Public in the street saying hello to you sort of thing. And I was having pictures with his boy, and he was signing footballs and things like for his boy for him. And then I went over to Gary and I said, Gary, have you got a minute? I said, little Joanne would like a little picture with you, if that's okay. We're guests on the show, you know, later sort of thing. And he kind of was reading his paper and he went, yeah, all right. I thought, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Really?
at that point you just think leave it.
I would have, but little Joanne's face was bubbling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She really wanted to have a picture with him, you know. And I thought to myself, how fucking arrogant can you be?
Yeah,
We're all working on TV. We're all coming in to do what we've got to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been very hospitable to your boy, sort of thing. Just have a picture, man. Just
It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, and I remember saying that to his brother Wayne, and he was just like, yeah, I've heard it a million times. Like,
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it doesn't go.
But generally,
everyone seems
I think most have been really, really,
Yeah.
really nice to me. Like, really good. I've had some, when it first come out, because they knew, they must have felt sorry for me a little bit, thinking, he's a bit vulnerable. All of a sudden, he's got a big high profile.
Yeah.
And, you know, all these people who've been in the industry a long time know how to deal with the media, know how to deal with all the paps things. So every award show I was going to, they were making like a beeline for me to come over and make friends and keep in touch and all various things like that. You know,
cool.
It's really, really nice. This one time I'm dropping names again in it.
Do it, but
So it's not the superstar. It's Robbie Williams, right? But it's his mum.
Not a superstar.
No, but I'm saying it wasn't him. Okay. So on this one occasion, he introduced me to his mum, Jan, and I don't know why I was seeing a girl at the time, I think, who knew Jan as well. Anyway, we kept in touch, and we went to Robbie's. He has like a private members bar. And we went there to have a dinner with Jan's mum and some other guests. And Jan was saying to me, I'd not long been out the house, you know, and still fucking paparazzis following you everywhere you go, and security waiting outside in the car for me and things. And she was like, how's your mum coping with all this? You know, because you've been catapulted into this thing. Because Robbie's mum, I can only imagine, I'm not saying this, but she's had a hard time as well with what Robbie's gone through.
All that,
everything else, and the press following her and wanting to know what he's up to and things like that when he's in his low spots. So anyway, I was like, yeah, you know what? I said, it's quite overwhelming for her. You know, we've had press outside her house, hounding a little bit about what we're doing and where I am and things like that. And she went, okay. She went, give me your mum's number and I'll give her a little call. I said, that'd be lovely, that, Jan, if you did that. Thank you. Really nice that. You can talk to her from a mother point of view. Her son's had super success, you know. So I said, yeah, okay, that's great. And I just kind of forgot about it, and I carried on a few weeks or so later. No, it was a few months later, I forgot about it. And Robbie was performing this one-off gig at the Royal Albert Hall called Swing While You Were Winning. And I took my sister along, Bev, because she was dying to meet Robbie and things. Anyway, we go to his gig there, and at the end of it, we get invited upstairs to his little private party in there. So we get to introduce my sister to Bev, and he says to me, he says, how's your mum, Craig? Is she all right? And I went, yes, she's good, actually, Rob. I said, he said, and he said to me, he says, it seems our mum talk about us, one another, more than what we talk, because I don't get to see Robbie now and again, whatever he's doing.
He's a busy man, isn't he?
Very busy, and just the odd occasions have been invited, and we share some other friends and things like that together. So, you know, I was kind of saying, really, yeah, has your mum kind of been giving her a call, has she? And he went, yeah, she's been, and he started to refer to things about my mum, which only Jan would have found out, you know. Yeah. So I thought, that's really, really nice. Anyway, gets home, and my mum says to me, she said, that lady, Jan, she's been calling me. I've been having chats with her for ages. She's lovely. She's telling me, she said, so who is her son, Robert? She said, she talks about our Robert being very successful and very things. Now, my mum was a big fan of Robbie Williams. So then I had to lie then, right? Bless me, poor little mum. She's not with us now. She's never ever known this. So I took a breath in and I was like, yeah, Jan, I know, yeah. And she said,
Mike Tyson's bodyguards.
What does a boy do, Robert? And I went, you wouldn't know, mum, because what happened? I thought to myself, if I say that's Robbie Williams' mum, she's going to panic, start putting on a posh voice. Every time she calls and things like that, stop being herself. So I thought, I won't spoil it. Just leave them kind of getting on with it. But yeah, it was nice.
That's a mad story.
That is posh. I love that.
Do you still keep any contact with Robbie at all? Or?
No, he's forgot about me now. I'm not famous enough. If you're watching Robert.
He won't be. It's fine.
No, well, funny enough, someone sent me a link, and This just reminds me, I need to put it up on my socials. So Robbie Williams is on a radio station doing a live interview, and they sent me this link. It's on like Virgin Radio, one of the big stations. Anyway, he's getting interviewed, and the presenter says to him, "Okay, Robbie, I'm going to do a quick fire question with you. Put you on the spot and ask you 3 questions. If you were sick in bed one night, dying, what celebrity friend would you call to help you out?" And he went, "Elton John, without a doubt. He helped me in rehab, this, that, and the other. He's taught me into going rehab. You go to his house and he fucking cares for you. You know, you're fine." He goes, "Okay." And he went, "Next question. If you've got any business advice or problems you've got with the contract, who would you turn to?" And he went, and he started taking him up, going, "Gary Barlow, I'd ring him up, and, you know, he knows everything, and blah, blah, blah." So he went, "Okay. Now, if you were trying to put a picture up on the wall and you needed to do some building work," and he went, "Craig Phillips, I call me mate. Craig Phillips, you come and do all that DIY stuff."
That's sick.
So he did give me a shout out.
That's cool,
but
man.
no, I haven't seen Robbie for, oh God, I'm going to say 10, 12 years or
Oh,
so.
hell yeah,
I
fair
don't
enough.
think, yeah.
Fair
Now,
That's great. You've lived a fucking mad
Yeah,
life.
you know,
That's
you know,
so
it's really
fun.
nice that they all know me, and you know, if you bump into them in the street, not that you run into them every day, like, but when
But
I
that's
do
probably
see him,
because you've
he
been
makes a
Craig,
real
though.
nice. He makes a really nice fuss of me. Let's say.
But that's
That's
because
it.
you've been yourself. You've been
Yeah,
organic.
yeah.
You've not been this fucking influencer and all that. You know what I mean?
But what the difference? And I had this conversation with him once. You know, he said he spent his life building his career up where everyone knows him as Robbie, as this performer and this, that, and the other. And I've had these conversations with other real successful, whether they're footballers or actors, and people only know them as a footballer or an actor. People have sat on the couch every day, every night for that 64 days, watching me just
being
me.
yourself. Yeah. That's just
And all we're doing every day in that big brother house is sitting here like we all
Chatting
are,
shit.
having a chat about
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
that crops
yeah.
up, you know.
Yeah.
Just whatever direction it goes in type of
Yeah, because they fall in love with the person and not what the person can do.
thing. Hopefully, yeah.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens, though, innit? You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
That's
Never
very
fell in
true.
love with you for your DIY stuff on Big Brother, did they?
No.
Unless you were building stuff on
They
there.
didn't see it.
Unless you helped them put the house up.
Unless they did have a secret camera behind that door in the corner.
Film
Do
fades
it
out,
yourself.
That's fucking funny. Right, well, Craig, I think we're going to wrap up for the evening.
Yes,
but
brilliant.
We will definitely get the ball rolling
Yes,
on the air.
yes,
on
please.
it, 'cause I
I'm going
really
to think
like
of the
sound that.
tasks and we'll think of the forfeit.
Woo!
All you guys have to do is turn up and be there.
Rock shit up.
That's
man.
what we're
Nice.
doing.
Mr. and Mrs. DIY YouTube, get on it.
We'll put,
Yes.
we'll put a link to all of Craig's
Good, yeah.
socials and
What's
his
your
YouTube.
what's your
Appreciate that,
Instagram name and stuff?
Yeah, the Instagram one as well, that's Mr. and Mrs. DIY. I think we have a Craig Phillips one. I think that's called Craig Big Bro 1.
Okay.
You do your daily vlogs as well, don't you? What channel
Yeah,
does that
do you know
go
what?
on?
I've only just started that, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if you've heard of a guy called Ollie Blogs. He's probably the most famous farmer out there, right? And he's a guy who lives a couple of miles from us. And I knew him for years. We hired diggers off him and things like that. And he come round one day dropping off 20 ton of soil from my garden. And he was picking something up on these forklifts for us. He was driving this fucking forklift on like this on his phone. And I was thinking, fucking hell, that's a bit risky what you're doing. And like this on his phone, he's chatting away to it. And he says to me, "Are you on YouTube?" And I went, this was only like a year and a half ago. I went, well, we've done a few on the Mr. and Mrs. DIY channel, but not on the Craig Phillips. We don't do it on the Craig Big Bro 1. And I went, no. And he went, oh, basically I do this every day. And he gets the analytic out. I won't say what it was, but he showed me how much money he was making. Fucking, I'm starting that tomorrow. Literally, I'm starting it tomorrow. So what I've done is just for the last nearly 12 months now, is just done a little bit of blogging on my phone. And like I said, I'm just arrived at your studio here. So just do a little bit of blogging, and it's not really to make money out of it, but what I think it's been nice for is, after a few months of look back at it, and when we got to about 100 days, I look back at it, and it was just nice to see what I was doing, where I was going, because I forget at my age, I'm 52, and seeing my kids grow and seeing them just,
like a
because I
diary.
forget the places
Yeah.
we're in, and it's a video
Like a
diary,
journal, yeah,
because
yeah.
we take hundreds of pictures and photos. When do you really look at them?
Never.
You don't, do you?
No,
That's
never.
a very
you
good
don't.
point there.
Never look at
So
them.
now,
Only when I'm in the train station, I've got no signal, and I start going, start going through my camera roll because I can't go on Twitter.
better delete that. I didn't realise the screenshot of that one. Delete. Good job, I looked. But now I look back at that, and it's really nice. So hopefully my kids can look back at that as well. You know,
That's
That's what I like.
they're at
that.
an age now. My kids, my Nellie's 5, and she's like, "Daddy, we're going somewhere," and she's going like,
Put episode 5 of the vlog on.
4 people have stopped you for a photograph. And she just doesn't know why yet.
Yeah.
She just doesn't quite know or understand.
Yeah.
She knows I'm on the telly. She see me on the telly.
Because I was locked in a house for 3 months, girl.
It wasn't jail. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay, God,
really,
thank you
really
so much
fun.
for
I've
coming
really
down,
enjoyed
Craig.
it.
Thank you very much.
Very much, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. Thank you for coming down, mate.
You too.
Thank you to everybody that always who sat with us watching as well. If you're wondering why this camera only came on about halfway through the episode, I went to grab a cap and stepped on the camera wire and unplugged it. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week. If you've enjoyed the episode, leave a like on the video. If you're still here, check out Grid, brand new sponsor of the podcast. All the Craig's socials and his YouTubes will be linked down below in the description. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. See you later.
Peace.
Mwah.